Hey everyone, this is Ring Authority News, your home for non-stop WWE energy. Subscribe now and let's dive right into the ring. What happened to Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw wasn't just another TV mishap. It was a moment that shook the entire wrestling community and raised serious questions about how WWE protects and values its performers. What should have been one of the biggest nights of Liv's career turned into a moment of embarrassment, mishandling, and silence. And the worst part? It was entirely preventable. A night that was supposed to define her career. Monday Night Raw was set to be Liv Morgan's defining moment. She had worked tirelessly for months, pushing through storylines, personal rivalries, and a grueling schedule to finally earn a shot at becoming the #1 contender for the Women's Championship. The crowd was electric when her entrance hit, the kind of reaction that every performer dreams of. She was confident, composed, and ready. Liv even wore a custom-designed outfit, representing her evolution as a performer, a statement that this was her time to shine. But what happened next turned triumph into trauma. The unthinkable moment. Midway through the match, something went terribly wrong. Liv was in control, showing off her trademark athleticism and energy when a move involving the ropes went off script. Her outfit failed her, a wardrobe malfunction that should never happen on live television, especially at this level of production. What followed was a moment that left fans shocked and Liv visibly shaken. It was clear from her expression that she was mortified, but her professionalism kicked in. She continued to wrestle, trying to recover the situation while maintaining composure in front of millions watching worldwide. How production made it worse. Mistakes happen. Live television is unpredictable. But what made this incident so upsetting wasn't just the malfunction itself. It was how WWE's production team handled it. Instead of cutting to commercial or quickly changing camera angles, the broadcast lingered for several seconds longer than it should have. Those extra seconds made all the difference. What should have been a routine edit became an unnecessary, humiliating moment for one of WWE's hardest-working stars. That decision, or indecision, falls squarely on WWE's shoulders. The aftermath and corporate silence. Within minutes, WWE's digital team went into what insiders are calling damage control mode. Fan clips started disappearing online, and official WWE social media accounts began posting unrelated highlights, acting as if nothing had happened. When WWE eventually released a statement, it was the kind of corporate non-apology fans have grown used to, calling it an equipment malfunction and praising how professionally it was handled. That response felt hollow. There was no acknowledgement of how this moment affected Liv personally, or what steps would be taken to prevent similar incidents in the future. Liv Morgan's reaction. Backstage, multiple sources backstage have shared that Liv was devastated after the show. She reportedly broke down in tears, locking herself in her dressing room, avoiding interviews and media obligations. Those who know her describe Liv as someone deeply passionate about her craft, someone who gives everything she has to her performances. To see her big night turn into a public ordeal, one that could have easily been avoided, was emotionally crushing. This wasn't just about embarrassment, it was about trust. Trust that her company would protect her, and that trust was broken. The double standard in WWE. If this had happened to a male superstar, would the response have been different? Many fans think so. The women's division has fought for years to be treated equally, to prove that female wrestlers aren't just part of the show, they are the show. Yet incidents like this remind everyone that equality still has limits in WWE. The women may headline pay-per-views, but when something goes wrong, they're left to deal with the fallout alone. Why this moment matters. This isn't about sensationalism or gossip. This is about respect, accountability, and safety. Liv Morgan's incident highlights a systemic issue where WWE prioritizes presentation over protection. Performers shouldn't have to worry about whether their gear will fail on live TV or if their company will handle an accident responsibly. For years, WWE has prided itself on its women's evolution, celebrating progress and inclusivity. But evolution means nothing if the performers at the center of it aren't safeguarded. How WWE can make it right. It's not too late for WWE to take real, meaningful action. First, they owe Liv Morgan a public, genuine apology. One that acknowledges their mistake instead of hiding behind vague corporate language. Second, the company must implement stricter wardrobe and equipment safety protocols. Outfits should undergo stress testing, and performers should have a say in what they wear. Third, WWE needs to create an independent internal review process to investigate incidents like this, ensuring performer dignity and safety are never sacrificed for television. The fans' responsibility fans also play a huge part in shaping wrestling culture. Sharing clips, making jokes, or turning someone's humiliation into memes only adds to the harm. Liv Morgan deserves empathy, not exploitation. Real fans should be demanding better standards for performer safety, not treating these incidents as entertainment. If the wrestling community truly values its stars, it has to stand up for them when things go wrong, not look away when it's uncomfortable. A moment that could change women's wrestling. For over a decade, women's wrestling has evolved from afterthought to main event. Stars like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Liv Morgan have worked tirelessly to prove that women belong at the very top of WWE. But what happened to Liv threatens to undo years of progress. It reinforces outdated notions that female performers exist for spectacle rather than sport. WWE can't afford to let that perception resurface, not after everything the women's division has accomplished. The real message to WWE. At its core, this controversy is about accountability and respect. WWE can't control every accident, but it can control how it responds to them. It can choose to protect its talent rather than protect its image. Liv Morgan didn't deserve to have her biggest career moment derailed because of preventable negligence. And she certainly doesn't deserve to carry the emotional burden of the company's failure. The company owes her, and every woman who steps into that ring, the assurance that their safety and dignity come first, always. What comes next? This story should serve as a wake-up call, not just for WWE, but for the entire wrestling industry. Every performer, male or female, deserves an environment that prioritizes professionalism and protection over profit and spectacle. WWE has the resources to lead by example, to show that women's wrestling isn't just a marketing slogan, but a standard of equality and care. Whether they rise to that challenge will define their credibility for years to come. Final thoughts. Liv Morgan's heartbreaking experience on Raw wasn't just an equipment malfunction. It was a failure of oversight, care, and corporate responsibility. She handled an impossible situation with grace and professionalism, but she shouldn't have had to. This moment must be a turning point for WWE. A reminder that behind the lights, cameras, and storylines are real people whose dignity must always come first. Until that happens, fans, wrestlers, and the entire wrestling community have to keep pushing for change. Because Liv Morgan, and every performer who steps through those ropes, deserves to shine without fear of being failed by the company they've dedicated their lives to represent.